Okay, going to start Unbound by Anne E. Berg, starting from the very beginning, part 1. When Mama tells me I'm going to the big house, she makes me promise to always be good, to listen to the missus and never talk back, to lower my eyes and say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and not to speak, lest spoken to first. She tells me about the new dress I'm sure to get, and sweet muffins every morning, she says, pulling the thread from Thomas's old baby gown. I wind the limp thread around a stick, slow and careful so not to break it. I like soft clothes and sweet muffins, but not if it means leaving Mama. Since I was little, Mama's been telling me, you keep those eyes looking up. That's where the good Lord and His angels live. So how come now she's changing her mind? Promise you'll keep your eyes down, she says. I promise. Promise you'll keep your mouth closed. I promise. Promise you won't talk back. Promise you'll keep your thoughts and questions, but... And suddenly, like a clap of thunder in the sweet blue sky, all my promising starts to feel like a fistful of thorns is scratching in my brain. I promise! I promise! And then, crack. I drop to the dirt floor and crunch into a ball. I won't go, I say. I want to stay with you. Aunt Sarah stands in the cabin doorway. Willie's playing with the hem of her dress, and she's holding Thomas in her arms. Mama shoos him away and kneels down. She tugs me apart and takes me into her arms. I pull away. I won't go, I cry. I won't leave Uncle Jim and his night stories or the sound of his soft singing when he tends to our moonlight garden. I won't go. I kick. I won't leave little Thomas and Willie. Aunt Sarah's old, and she can sing to 'em when Mama works out in the fields, but who will stand over 'em waving a dried leaf to give 'em breeze when they nap? Who will play with 'em and chase 'em into a lump of giggles when they wake? I won't go, I won't go. I pound and thrash, I scream and stomp. I won't go. I want to stay with you. Mama wraps her arms tight around mine. My sweet baby child, she whispers. My sweet baby child. The wetness on her face mingles with my tears and tastes like blood. Uncle Jim says Mama's the prettiest mama in the county. Her arms and legs may be bony as kindling, he says, laughing, but she's got the softest eyes and the kindest heart. I wish I had soft brown eyes like Mama's, and skin what's dark and smooth like hers instead of light blue eyes and pale skin. Well, Grace, you have my curls, Mama always says, kissing my hair. My baby's beautiful just the way she is. Mama tries to be cheery even when she's tired. Aunt Sarah says that's because the good Lord put Mama on this earth to remind folks that there's still goodness in the world. I agree. Uncle Jim does too. Uncle Jim is Thomas and Willie's daddy. I don't have a daddy. Of course, Aunt Sarah says everybody's got a daddy. I just never laid eyes on mine. I never heard him sing or feel him lifting me into the moon and laughing like Uncle Jim does with Willie and Thomas. It's my Aunt Sarah what's been helping Mama taking care of me since I was a baby. She's not really my aunt, but Mama says that folks what love you, what hold you and soothe you, what worry about you and make you clothed and fed, Mama says those folks is your family. She says Uncle Jim's my daddy in all the ways that count. I only call him Uncle Jim because that's what I called him before he jumped the broom and married my Mama. Mama says we got 2 days before I leave for the big house. Says it's no use stamping our feet and crying. Says there's things we can change and things we can't. He was only going up the hill, she says, smiling, but her voice quivers, and sorrow and tear clings to the bottom of her lash. Up the hill don't seem far, but Master Allen lives up the hill, and if you cross Master Allen, he might send you away, like he sent away Uncle John. Uncle John was an old man what worked in the fields. Iron chains stretched across his feet, so he could hardly lift his legs. Mama told me Uncle John got caught running one too many times. Master Allen was tired of chasing him, so during the day he locked Uncle John's ankles in iron circles, and when nighttime came he chained Uncle John to his bed. Only you can't weed tobacco fields in iron chains, so finally Master Allen brought Uncle John to the auction block. Uncle Jim says the auction block's a putrid place where folks is pulled and poked and prodded and paraded just like they's a prize heifer. You hear auctions and you run, he says. Auction's nothing but weepin' mamas, whimperin' children, and the callous voice what calls out numbers and makes commands. Lift that shirt, roll those pants. There's some words what make my bones shiver, and auction's one of 'em. How am I going to live in the master's house? What if I cross him and he sends me to the auction block? We're going to stop right there. That's on page 11.